What is going on, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube world? You got your boy Matty with some more gameplay commentary. This is a game of Hardpoint on the map standoff using the PDW. Don't exactly remember my attachments or perks, but I'm sure you've seen them on screen by now. In today's gameplay commentary, I would like to talk about some possible changes to the Hardpoint game type. Now, I love Hardpoint. I love it competitively. I love it casually. It's probably my most favorite game type. Now, when you play it casually, they kind of pick like all the maps, which is good, obviously, because you're paying for them and yada yada yada. But there are some maps that just don't deserve to be Hardpoint maps. For instance, Cargo. There's 3 Hardpoints. It is the top warehouse, top orange, top blue, in that order. And it is probably the most annoying game type to play. And that's not because there's snipers going in for quad feeds and there's kids playing with their feet. That's not a big deal. That's not a big deal. It's just people don't, when you're playing alone, when you're playing casually, breaking that kind of hardpoint is difficult because there's only a few ways in. The top warehouse has, well, 2 staircases and the back window. So 3 places to get in, which sounds like a lot. But unless using dexterity, the back window kind of is out of it because you're kind of screwed. I would use dexterity for cargo on almost every map because usually key things you have to hop up to. So I would use dexterity for a map like cargo. Excuse me. But it's just when people don't know how to break the hard point, if that makes sense. Breaking the defense as per se, it can get frustrating. Like if you're the only, and especially if you're the only guy doing it. I've been in lobbies where I'm like the only dude rocking a red gun. Everyone else is going for quad feeds for the montage. It's annoying, yes, but like you can't control other people. You can't control randoms. It's nice to have 1 or 2 guys that actually know. Like if you guys are partying up, this is my message to the sniping community, I guess. If you guys are going for montage clips, you guys have like a full team, that's cool. Like, or 5 guys, 4 guys, whatever, how many you get, that's cool. I'm totally supportive of you guys. Like, I love personally watching montages. They're probably the craziest thing ever. I have no, skill whatsoever to do those, but those are awesome. But can you just designate like 1 regular gun dude, per map? Like you guys go in rotation or something like that, so at least you can get the objective done so you can win on top of that. Maybe if like, even if you guys like had the 1 dude rock regular guns until like you guys were like in the lead by a crazy amount and then going for your trick shots and stuff, because you guys don't show the score in your feeds anyway half the time. It doesn't show that you're losing by like 100 points. So that's kind of like, you know, my public service announcement to the sniping community. Like, I love you guys. You guys are amazing. I have my own sniping community myself, and those guys are awesome guys. They're really good at what they do, and I'm really impressed by what they can do with a sniper rifle because I cannot. But just think about that. Like, designate like 1 dude out of your 6-man party, just as the regular gun guy, just to, you know, go in there. Not to kill anyone, because obviously you guys want kill feeds, but, you know, just help out with the objective, you know, help the 1 random you're with, or whatever. But I digress. Changes to Hardpoint. So the biggest change I think I would like to see in Hardpoint, okay, there's 2 things. First off, when you initially cap the Hardpoint, you get 200 points. I'd like to see that cut in half, and now this is why. When people play Hardpoint, if they're a full party and they know what they're doing, all they're going to do is the first guy that gets in there gets 200 points, and then he bails, and then no one else goes in there until the enemy team goes in there and they get their 200 points, and then said person that got the first 200 slays that guy, jumps on it again, gets another 200, and then jumps back off. So let's do the math here. He had 200 the initial, he had 125 for getting a hardpoint kill, then he had another 200 for jumping back on it. So that is 525 points for literally getting 1 kill. That kind of doesn't make sense. I'd like to see it cut in half. It's not going to discourage people doing that, but that's okay. This is where the other tip, or the other suggestion I would have that would kind of help people staying in the hardpoint, and that is giving them points. I find in games of like hardpoint games, not necessarily specific in this one, but sometimes I'm the only guy in the hardpoint, and I don't get rewarded for it. Like, obviously my team is starting to get the lead, or we're catching up, or whatever, but I'm not getting rewarded for risking my life being the only dude in there. So, like, maybe if they gave me, let's say, like, 10 points a second, 20 points, probably 10 or 15 points a second. Nothing too overpowered where if you stay in there, you can drop a swarm by any means. But just some incentive for players to go in there. Because right now, the way it stands, for people that just want to get their score streaks and get 100 kill gameplays, they literally just go in there. First guy or whoever gets there first gets the 200 points and then runs away. And then he goes slaying until someone goes in there, and that cycle continues. I was in a lobby where the dude went 7-0, literally 7-0, and he had his swarm, dogs, and VSAT all up almost at the same time. So that kind of is a little overpowered. Like, not necessarily overpowered. It's I don't want to say boosting, because it's not. Boosting is when you, like, cheat. He's not cheating. He's playing by the rules, and I'm not harping him for that. That's a super smart way to play. I'm not going to lie. But it kind of takes away from the actual aspect of the game type. It kind of turns into, like, a TDM, only you just run in the middle for a second, get those 200 points, and then start slaying again. You know what I mean? And so if there was some incentive to stay in the hardpoint, I think that would intrigue newer players or players in general to stay. Like, maybe they're 50 points off their swarm and they're really, really close, and they feel that if you hop in that hardpoint for 5 seconds and can find a way to live, there's a better chance you'll get it than, I guess, camping in a corner and slaying for the 100. But that's decision making in game. You can't make the decision every time. Be like, oh, I'm just gonna run in the middle hardpoint and get the kill because I need that. You know what I mean? But that's something I'd like to see. It's not necessarily, I'm not being like, this needs to be changed and this needs to be changed. Like, I love hardpoint. I love the way it is. There is a few that do that, not boosting or glitching or cheating, but bending the rules of the game in a way which, for me, sort of takes out of it. Like, on both sides, not necessarily me getting fucking raped by kill streaks. That's obviously never fun, and no one likes that. But I've been in lobbies where that happens, and, like, I just lost interest. Like, I literally stopped playing, and I think I unplugged my Xbox, or I just dashboarded and left and did something else, because it just kind of takes away from the game. I'm not complaining. I'm not being like, oh, this needs to be changed. I hate this. No, it's I'm too old for that. I don't give a shit how people play the game, but it would just be kind of cool to see like some incentive. Like, that's the main thing I'm trying to get across, is some incentive for going in there. Like, besides the 200 points for the first guy that gets in there, what else am I going in there for besides the win? Which is obviously always important, but to be completely honest with you, my win-loss sucks because I rage quit out of too many games. That's the honest truth. So, like, when you look at it, it's like, oh yeah, I could either maintain my 40% win percentage because I get too angry at the game and leave early all the time, or I can not die and I can try and get a few kills outside the hard point. Like, I just feel there's no incentive for experienced or newer players besides the initial 200 points, and then letting the other team go in there, killing them, and then capping it again. Like, besides that, there is no initial incentive to want to go in there, if that makes sense. But I still love the game type. Like, it's probably, out of all the Call of Duties, this is my favorite game type, because there's just so much strategy, setting up for the next hard points. You guys have seen professional players do it. When professional players play hardpoint, I fucking love every second of it, because they know what they're doing. They have they all have a role, and it's probably the most fun Call of Duty I've seen in a long time, to be completely honest with you. I love there's no respawn delay as well. That also helps. Anyways, guys, my name's Matty. I will see you on the other side.